everybody. We are putting in a quick session today, and we just arrived to the queue and about to head in and play some 1-3. We're on the list right now, and it sounds like they got a couple games rolling, so let's get in there and see if we can make some money.
Hey, what's up guys? We are going to start this one on the flop because I was just getting started with the session and did not have my camera ready at the time this hand actually got started. This opponent, I had seen him just fold jacks face up on a paired board a little bit ago, and that will play into this hand. So let's take a look. I have the 8-6 of diamonds, and we see he's in the straddle. We're going three ways to this flop. It checks to me, and I bet 30 on 3 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, 7 of clubs. And the original straddle, after it folds in the small blind, thinks for a little bit before deciding that $30 is the wrong amount of chips to play for, and he would prefer to play for 75. Now when he makes this raise, he's a very capable opponent. I've played with him before, and he's going to have some diamond draws. He's going to have some maybe like 6-5 suited. He can have some overpairs like 8s and 9s that he's not going to 3-bet pre-flop. So I'm definitely still in a spot where I'm okay making this call. We're going to see what happens on the turn. And I'm also in the back of my mind keeping that fresh idea that, hey, he's just folded jacks face up to some pressure, and so some pressure might get this one done. If he, doesn't have a 7, if he's kind of getting out of line with some other holdings. He quickly donk leads on a queen of spades for $115. He's got just over 300 left in the stack, and I'm gonna have to think about this one for a second. My gut is telling me I probably just need to fold, but I go back to if he's playing too tight and I play the more aggressive route, sure, sometimes he's gonna have a 7, but when he does not have a 7, he's gonna be folding very often, and knowing that he's capable of both a tight fold and of making a play without a nutty hand, I take a high variance route and decide that the best option here is to play for all of my money. And we're going to throw the maximum amount in. We are hoping for a nice quick fold from him, or at least a long tank and then a fold, but we do not want to see him put the chips in. So we announce all in, and it takes him all of 3 seconds to get his chips in the middle, which is terrible news. He shows the king 7 of hearts, and we are very fortunate to see an ace of diamonds. We hit a 7-outer on the river and make a flush. It is good. We are better lucky than good, I suppose, and we get to stack a bunch of chips. We're going to break that hand down later because there's a lot of nuance to it when I looked at it a little further. 8-9 of spades is our next hand. We raise to $20 pre-flop. And the flop comes down 3 of spades, 7 of clubs, king of clubs. Our opponent checks to us, and we are going to continuation bet for $20 on this flop. The range is in our favor, and he does not look excited or interested, so we make the bet, and we take this one down pretty quick. Sometimes they're not as exciting. Got to share some of them with you, even if they don't have all the fireworks, because that's how poker goes sometimes. All right, let's get to our next hand. Our next one, we have the queen of hearts and the king of spades. It is raised from under the gun by a player who's playing fairly tight. I again recorded this one on the flop, and I'm sorry guys, my hand is in the way of a lot of these shots. I'm gonna figure this camera stuff out eventually. All right, so we end up checking because we're 5 ways with 3 players to act behind us. We have the nut flush draw and we have a pair. I don't think I want to get super aggressive right away. And then we see the jack of diamonds after it checks through. The original raiser, the undergun player, now makes it $50. And now I'm ready to take a more aggressive line. We can hit a heart for the nut flush. We can hit a 10 for a straight. Not a guarantee that it's good, but probable after it checks through that we're going to be in an okay spot here. I make it $200, basically full pot bet to try to take this one down. We've got a lot of equity no matter what, and if he raises us, I'm going to have to let this one go, but I'm pretty comfortable after he checks and then bets small that we're in a pretty good position here, and sure enough, that does work. We go ahead and take this one down, and we move on to the next hand. So in this next hand, we are looking down at the ace 5 of clubs, And in this one, we have an under the gun player who's been very tight, raising to 10. I decide to not 3-bet. He's under the gun, his range is going to be strong, and he's not been playing many hands, so he is probably going to hold some premium holdings. We go to a flop of 8-3-5 rainbow with 1 club. We have the backdoor flush draw plus a pair, and we could eventually, potentially make trips or 2 pair here if we improve. So when he bets $20 into 4 players, I'm willing to make the call and see what develops on the turn. And another player left to act also makes the call. So our pot goes from $40 to $100. And now we see the turn, which is the 6 of hearts. He quickly makes it $75. Doesn't have to think very long before he feels good about this one. And there's just no way we can stick around. We just don't have that much equity. We've got a hand that even if we improve to an ace, he could make a set. There's a lot of cards where he could just nail something and we could think we're okay, and we could just get crushed. So we're gonna let that one go. We have the ace of diamonds, queen of clubs in this next one, and we're gonna go ahead and raise to 25 pre-flop over a straddle and a limp. And the flop comes out queen of hearts, 6 of hearts, 8 of diamonds. We continuation bet, downsizing to 20, and it is good enough to get it done. Another one that's not super huge or exciting, but another little win to help us continue to stack up some chips. All right, in this next one, it's a pretty fun hand. We have ace-king offsuit, and our opponent is a pretty competent one. We're in the hijack and make it $20 over a limper. We're going to punish them for trying to call and see a cheap flop. And the button decides that $20 is a good price, and he's going to come along to see the flop. So we go to a flop, which is extremely favorable for our range, and that is a like button, subscribe button, and a notification bell. We smash this flop completely. We got the absolute nuts, and you guys go ahead and mash it and smash it. That's hitting your range hard as well. All right, hold on a second. Let's get to the real flop, which is the queen of spades, 10 of diamonds, 4 of clubs. We've got 2 overs with a gut shot, and we just are feeling, we're going to down bet to 15, feeling like everything's going to go right on the turn. We're hoping to improve, and the turn is a beautiful, beautiful jack of clubs. We are feeling great. We're going to bet $45. Let's get some value. We have the nuts. All right, our opponent quickly calls, feeling great. The only thing that we do not want to see is the scary 10 of spades or a king of spades. Otherwise, we are feeling fantastic. And the river is the beautiful one. It is the 5 of diamonds. We're going to go for more value, betting 80% pot. We go with a $120 bet and send it to our opponent, who has to think for a little bit, but ultimately decides that he cannot get away from a ace-queen offsuit. So he has top pair, top kicker, and eventually throws in that calling chip. And when he does, we show him the bad news. Turns out that the nuts are good. He does not have ace king, which we did not expect him to have, and we get all these chips pushed our way. Nice pot to kind of finish out the session. It is time for us to go. We cannot stick around for much longer. It's been a good one, and it is time to rack them, stack them, and go cash them out. Great session for the day.
Hey guys, just finished up the session, played for about 2.5 hours, and bought in for 500, out for 14.79, so a nice profit there, and just a little bit under 1,000. I had a hand where I got pretty creative, and so I'm sure by now you'll have seen it, but I'm curious to see what the solver says, and I may need to break that one down and analyze it a little bit more, because I took some artistic liberties with that one. I don't know. Looking back on it, I really want to spend some time thinking about it, run it by a couple people, and see what a solver says. But I think I got out of line and got lucky. But anyway, yeah. But some interesting hands, and I'm sure you've seen them by now. But good session, nice little win, and we are back in the black for this venture so far, which is a good thing. We definitely had some rough start there with some pretty ugly losses to begin the year, but making money, and it's not great yet, but we'll keep grinding it up and get to where our hours and our hourly are in a place where we're pretty happy with it. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you next time.